Now you.
So the girls over there cost 2, is it?
That's the women.
The women.
Now if I told you 2, and you want something yellow, I tell you to add something to it. Just tell me you just pick a figure to that.
I guess what? 3?
3. You got it.
He definitely just beat us, like, it'll probably stump you out, like, stump you, like, when you're on the ground, physically stump you, yeah. He'll probably hit you with a belt, physically slap you, punch you.
He would beat me with broomsticks, candles, he would burn me with candles. He would take metal hangers and beat me with them and poke me with them, belts, anything that he can get his hands on, he would beat me with. The one time he had beat me so bad that he had ruptured my spleen and had put me in the intensive care unit. So it's like, once you knew that he could almost kill you, you'd rather do what he says than to get beat again.
If you come to them, it'll be like 150.
Okay.
If they come to you alcohol, that'll be like 200.
Okay, and I got a hotel room, so that's an alcohol.
Yeah, that's
okay, so 200 each.
Yeah, an hour.
Okay, so I'll give you 400. Oh, I give him 200, or I give it to you? Okay, so I'll give you 400, and then we can tip the girls whatever on top of that.
Okay, that's better.
Is that all right with you?
No, I run all this.
Okay.
These are my girls.
Oh, okay.
They all do them look pretty.
We're all under 18. We're all the same age. There would be a few girls that I knew that were like in their 20s or whatever, but they had been doing it since they were our age anyways. I did wait till 12, and these girls were doing it since they were like 8 or 9, and now they're like 23.
I want to show them and tell them like what it feel like to be that hoe, to be degraded all the time, to be hit on, to be manipulated, to be so all day, every day. Who was there to stop it? Nobody was there to stop
So points of intervention are juvenile justice, child welfare, criminal justice, foster care, and educational professionals, all who come in contact with youth involved in commercial sex. So then the big question is, so how do we address this? Human trafficking guidelines for child protection have the following recommendations. Training of frontline professionals, including you, and foster care parents. Identifying kids who are at risk. We already talked about the kids that are at risk. Warning signs through early screening and preventative services. And then identifying not just those who are at risk, but those who are actually being trafficked through formal protocols and assessments, including what she brought up about DFS and the questions and the assessments. That kind of stuff is really important to incorporate in our work in the state. Serving and engaging at-risk populations by providing them specialized caseworkers and giving them services for prevention. And then collecting data. That's what I hear all day long from the state and from law enforcement. We don't have data, so we must not have a need. So what I tried to do 5 years ago when I started this work was to start at the top with the governor's office, the attorney general's office, law enforcement. Because I thought, if they knew about this, of course they're going to be all over this. And I was quite disillusioned to learn that not everybody is real fond of victim advocates like me. And my work was not appreciated or endorsed. But I kept chirping, and I kept chirping, and I kept chirping because I could, on my own dime with my own time. And 5 years later, last month in January, I stood in Governor Markell's office, tears streaming down my face, as he signed, for the first time ever, a human trafficking proclamation for the state of Delaware, and gave it to me to frame for my office. 5 years it took to even get them to proclaim that it is a problem. And the next week, I went to Leg Hall again, and I spoke on the floor house and the Senate floor. And they, both sides, declared proclamation as well, with resolutions. And I got a standing ovation in the Senate. We've come a long way in 5 years. But all we've done now is create a platform from which to jump and start doing the real work. Anybody can proclaim it's happening. But now it is time to start working in this state and making a difference and building an infrastructure. And all of you can reach people that I can't reach. And you all have funding resources or foster care resources that I don't have. So it's important that amongst ourselves and with other state workers that you know, or law enforcement, or nurses, anybody that you know, that you think that group would benefit from something like this, if I can squeeze it in, I will do it, even if it's not just education. I will get in as many groups as I possibly can. If anybody decides that they want to learn how to do this presentation, I normally don't have 2.5 hours. Normally, places I go, I have anywhere from 35 minutes to 90 minutes. That's usually the block of time. So when Lauren said, you can have 2.5 to 3 hours, it's like the heavens opened up and the angels started singing, because I didn't have to like cut anything out. And so if you decide that you want to be one of my trained volunteers, part of my training team that goes out and does presentations like this, through Zoe as a volunteer, I'm having a training on the 23rd of this month in Dover at Murphy School from 9 to 2. So if you want to be a part of that, if you have interest in that, I'm probably not going to do it again because it's very long and complicated and involved to get all the information together. But if you want to do that, contact me. My contact information is in that business card on the inside left side of your black folders. So send me an email and say, I really want to do, I was here, at CASA training, and I want to do TOT training on February 23rd. And we have a few seats left, I think. So let me know if that's something you want to do. I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes in case you want to write down. These are fantastic resources for stats around the country, even though we don't have stats in Delaware yet. But the two are specifically on trauma. Polaris Project is the one that had that heat map that I showed you earlier with all the red dots all over the country. They're the sort of watchdog organization for trafficking and efforts in this country. They also house the National Human Trafficking Resource Center, which holds the 1-800 number.
So the 800 number, I'm sorry, the 800
yeah,
number that's on the back of your...
The 1-800 number, where are my folders? The 1-800 number is on the back of this brochure on the bottom.
And that goes to this...
And that goes to the National Human Trafficking Resource Center hotline held by Polaris. And it's real simple to remember the number. It's 888 on both ends with 3737 in the middle. 888-3737-888. So the number is here on the bottom in blue. The other thing that I would ask you to do, on this card, here's my contact information, a little bit about Zoe, but on the opposite side in this card where the 1-800 number is, I presented a TED Talk on trafficking in the United States in Wilmington last August. So My information is here, the date is here, you can Google it, YouTube it. And I put the title of my talk up here at the top, so if you Google search YouTube, Wilmington TED Talk Yolanda Slayball, punch in my name, a whole page of stuff on me is gonna come up. Go to the link that says, Sex Trafficking in the U.S., Young Lives and Same Profit. That's the title of my talk that's right here. So when you YouTube it, punch that in and it should pop up. It's 14 and a half minutes. It's this, power packed, in 14 and a half minutes. So it's fantastic for you to show the folks that you work with, or people think that doesn't happen in Delaware. You let them watch 14 and a half minutes of my TED Talk and they won't be able to deny it. Now my TED Talk's a little bit different than this just because of the forum, but it's really important. The more hits we get on this, and the more you can share this on your social media, put it on your Facebook pages, whatever you can do to spread the word about this particular talk. Because there are certain folks that don't really want this information getting out. But we need this information out because that's how we're going to help people, and that's how we're going to build a system. Yes?
Have you ever considered using social media, or have you just overlooked it?
I am a social media dinosaur. I hate social media.
Okay.
I hate computers. I know that they are a necessary evil. Part of my assistant's job that I just hired part-time is to do all my social media because I'm not a social media
It's
fan.
really a way.
But it is a way, it's necessary and it's a way to connect with a lot of people.
Exactly.
And so that is one thing that she is working on
Okay.
in the next couple of months is to really beef that up. I've never had a Facebook page in my life.
Oh my
But
goodness.
in order to be a TED Talker, I had to have one.
Yeah.
That was a requirement.
Yeah.
It was almost enough to make me say, well, forget it, I don't want to do a TED Talk.
Thinking it might be an opportunity to get the word out there, and you might get more people involved.
It
That
would be, it's a
good.
perfect way to do it. So you all spread it on your social media.
So what's on your, I mean, I know I can go and look, but I definitely go home and put on my Facebook page, I went to a talk today and put your
You
Facebook.
can put, I think my Facebook information is on my business card.
Yeah, it is.
So it also has a link to, you can also do a link to my website, which would be really helpful.
Or the TED Talk.
Or the TED Talk, absolutely.
I'm
Yes.
perfectly
really.
willing to.
Yes, so when people say, what can we do to help, that's one thing
Yeah,
you can
really.
do that would be really, really helpful, because you have folks attached to your social media that don't help. So I'm hoping that within the next 2 months, we'll really beef up our social media through Zoe, but it is not my forte, not my cup of tea. I'm an IT person's worst nightmare. Social media is not my thing, so, yes.
I would love to get involved and help, but the 23rd I won't be able to get to because I'm already booked for something. Is there,
Okay.
can I just call and?
You know what, yeah, just call me.
Okay.
Because I know it's only, what, we're gonna have 2 weeks
Yeah.
away, so there's not a lot of notice. I mean, you've sat through this presentation. This is the presentation that I have my trainers go through, and every slide has a page and a 3-ring binder.
Okay.
So you just flip page by page as I'm speaking and write notes, or questions that you have. And then we take a break for lunch, and then we have a 2-hour Q&A time, where you say, well, what about this, or what if I'm asked this? So you're sort of equipped to know how to answer questions. And then I always go with my trainers the first presentation or 2, just to make sure they're comfortable, make sure the IT works, all that. And I'm there to answer questions if people get stuck. But generally, if there are trainings for the state, or for like a conference, I will do those generally. So I start my trainers out with community organizations, like these kind of presentations, Serapion's presentations, community groups, so it's not quite so intimidating as a conference. But I would love to have conference speakers too, eventually. That's my long-term dream. So I'd love to have in-person, just call me.
Okay. Yes.
Since this is all fed by greed, is there any evidence of organized crime,
Yeah.
way above these hoops? I mean,
It's a very elaborate system. There is organized crime in Delaware, but there's also, like I said, grandmothers pimping out there. It's on every level.
other questions, have you ever been threatened yourself? Do you feel?
I will say this. Danger is real, but fear is a choice. So, I don't walk around fearful. That's all I'll say. Yes?
Maybe I'm not entitled to ask this question, so whether you answer it or not, but you amaze me because 5 years of slogging through this is just, superhuman, and most people give up at that point. So what got you, what made this your thing? Because there's a lot of things in the world.
There is a lot of things.
So this
Yeah.
is your thing, and you focused on that, and that's really important. But how did you get, it's a personal question, I guess.
And that's fine, I don't mind answering that at all. I learned about the reality of it,
Okay.
and I couldn't sleep. I was torn up, broken for months when I learned what was really happening. And I knew I had to do something. And I considered going back to law school, and there were so many things I thought, what can I do to be the most effective? And I thought, the Lord gave me a big mouth a long time ago, I can use that, and I don't have to go to law school. And so I just started speaking to whoever would listen, and the more I spoke, my personality is one that when I come up against resistance, that just makes me dig my heels in more. And when I consider the fact that there are people who have no voice, and I can be their voice, and they have no choices, but as a result of our work, they can then have choice and freedom, that's all I need to keep me going.
That's awesome.
It's just, God just put it in me, that's all I know. And I can't imagine doing anything else. I want to give you, Elisa left her card here, so I want to give you her contact information so you can write it down. So that if you have a child or a suspicious activity or a spa or something you want to call, I still want you to call the 1-800 number because we have to increase our calls to Polaris. So even if you call her, call local law enforcement, call Elisa, and call the 1-800 number. No matter what, you call those three things, okay? So Elisa's last name is Lehman, Lehman.
And how do you spell Elisa?
Elisa is Elisa, and she is with the FBI. And her phone number is area code 302-594-4303. And her email is Elisa, Elisa, dot Lehman, Lehman, at ic.fbi.gov. G-O-V. Did everybody get that? And her office is in Wellington. Here. Sorry, did I go too fast? So I have a few extra of these. If you work with someone or know somebody that you think would like to have this information, there are a few extra that I don't have to take with me to the Stroptonist. And the other thing that I brought are these are pricey. These are $3 a piece that we have to buy. So I'm asking you to only take this if you will read it and promise to give it to like 10 other people. Circulate as much as you can. This is Delaware Lawyer Magazine. The whole magazine is on trafficking in Delaware. So it has some U.S. Attorney Office people. I co-authored an article in here with a commissioner from Newcastle County Court of Appeals. So I brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. We are hoping to get a small grant that we can order more of these, but these are left over from a conference that I held in November. And we had our first, Delaware had its first human trafficking training conference, November 17th at Dover Downs. And I took it to,
whatever last 4
is that still on? Can we?
Yep.